It is something different, but he did it because of that dua. And this third one, which is most important, but we do not realize, that Allah puts it in your account, deposit in akhirah. Every dua which is not granted here in this world, it is deposited, a saving account with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we go there, you find a lot of things. You will be surprised, what is that? Here you could be you. Now I am not talking about any other person. Any person who makes a dua, he should be sure that his dua is always there. It works. Either you get that thing, that is what we consider to be ijaba, that dua has been granted, or a musibah has been averted, has been altered, or it is deposited in your account. So never ever any dua is wasted or ruined. Fine. So this is how it is. Now what we are going to speak today? Halal? Dr. Siraj? Hygiene? Yeah, Quran speaks about tayyibat. Now remember that hygienic and halal, they may be different. Something which is halal but not hygienic, something which is hygienic but not halal. It is not necessary that every halal should be hygienic. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands, he said tayyibat, not halal. Ya ayyuhar rusul kulu min at-tayyibat, in Surat Al-Mu'minun. Ya ayyuhar rusulu kulu min at-tayyibat. And also ya ayyuhallazina amanu ya ayyuhan nasu kulu mimma fil ardi halalan tayyiban. Both are connected, halal and tayyib both. So see, it is not necessary that every halal should be hygienic and should be tayyib. Tayyib is, you can translate very easily as hygienic. Hygiene is connected with purity, with cleanliness, with being useful, and that is what is tayyib. So tayyib is higher and more common and more recommended in Islam than halal only. You know, I do not know whether he took you to the East London where Bengali people live, and majority of them are, they chew pan, pan, this leaf in India and Pakistan, which makes your mouth red. They chew pan, they spit it on the road, always there are police to watch, and there are many meat shops. And here the government is very strict, and it should be, that is what Islam teaches, that always consume something which is tayyib, which is halal, which is hygienic. Fine. So the inspector comes to the shop, and then they will find that the man is selling a meat which is not okay. Now that meat is halal. It is halal because it has been slaughtered, but now it has been spoiled. The date has expired. Still he is selling it to the people, causing them harm. So every month at least, or maybe more than once a month, they go to the shops and check, and then they get something wrong. They fine the man 10,000, 15,000 or any thousand, or if the if the matter is very serious, they close his shop for some days. He loses his business for some days. But they are Muslim. But by the way, look, where is Islam, ya akhi? It does not affect Islam. Huh? So they are Muslim and they are doing this, knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it haram for any Muslim to harm another Muslim or even a human being. Remember, Islam does not differentiate between Muslim and non-Muslim when the benefit comes. It is not that you cannot kill a Muslim, but you can kill the non-Muslim. It is not in Islam that you cause all kind of harm to a non-Muslim and keep Muslim safe. No. Everyone is to be given security and safety. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. that you should not kill anyone, any soul which Allah has made sacred. Haram Allah. Allah has made it haram to kill anyone. Now that one doesn't apply only to Muslim, that if he is Muslim, okay, but if he is non-Muslim, I kill him. You know, some people understood like that, and it created problem here in UK. You may have heard that the boy, the one who was very newly converted to Islam, and then he killed a soldier on the road, main road, and daytime. You may have watched in Kuala Lumpur on TV. He just and say Allahu Akbar. Yeah, this is not Islam. What Allahu Akbar? He was caught, you know, with the dagger in the sword in his hand, and now it is the case is under review by the court. So this is not, Islam gives the right to everyone, fine, and in this way you can bring the people to Islam and attract them and make them accept it. But if you want to remain exclusive, as we said, or reclusive, that we want only to live in ghetto, Muslim only Muslim, non-Muslim barra, barra, out, out. No, it is not going to work. It is not going to work. So this is how it is. So everyone is not to be cheated by a Muslim. No Muslim should cheat anyone, Muslim or non-Muslim alike. So now what happens there, that they sell meat which is rotten, which is spoiled, which is not hygienic, and which is going to cause health disaster, which is not allowed in Islam. So halal and tayyib, they are two different things, but Islam is urging its followers to use halal and tayyib both. And the Prophet said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked even the messengers, the prophets, Ya ayyuhar rusul kulu min at-tayyibat. And then also he said to the people, Kulu mimma razaqakumullahu halalan tayyiban. So halal and tayyib both come here. Now how something becomes a halal? Leave tayyib alone, because tayyib is to be judged by health and safety officers. I think there are such officers in Malaysia.
Yes.
Must be. It is very essential.
In UK, like you just said before, they go to shop check.
Yes, yes.
If not,
You know, exactly. Also they should visit the abattoir, slaughterhouse, how they are slaughtering and what kind of animal they are slaughtering, because some animals are not usable, they are sick, they have disease, and in Muslim countries, not Malaysia, but other Muslim countries, they don't mind. Yalla, mashi, everything is mashi. But but that is not okay. That is not halal. That is not allowed. So how can we make something halal? Quran says that anything which has not been slaughtered in the name of Allah is not halal. وَمَا أُهِلَّ بِهِ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ. Something on which the name of other than Allah is invoked, that is haram. Say for example, the Hindus, they do for their gods, the others they do for their gods. That is not allowed for a Muslim to eat. It should not be done. Now a question comes here, that there are some people, you know, the one who mention the name of their peer, their sheikh, Sheikh Abdul Qadir, Sheikh Tijani, Sheikh Rafai, or anyone, whether it will be allowed. So very strict Muslims say no, because Quran made it very clear, وَمَا أُهِلَّ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ بِهِ. Ghairullah, whether it is a big sheikh or a small sheikh, whether it is a tree, whether it is a god, doesn't matter, but it is haram. Now then from this, Quran exempted Ahlul Kitab. وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ وَطَعَامُهُمْ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. طَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ وَطَعَامُكُمْ حِلٌّ لَهُمْ. That the ta'am of people of book is halal for you. Now ta'am does not mean rice and vegetable. You know, that is halal from any group, whether an atheist, a Hindu, a Buddhist. If he cooks rice, you can eat it. But I noted that Malaysian officers are very strict. We took them to Gurudwara. The people, Sikh people don't eat meat. So there is no question of halal. They make dal, they make vegetable and very fresh bread, chapati. Many officers didn't touch, no, haram. No, it is not like that. The Prophet ﷺ was invited by Jews. He went and ate with them. Fine. So, anyhow, vegetable and rice is not meant by ta'am. The Mufassirin from the very beginning, they said that ta'am here implies zabiha, something which is slaughtered by Ahlul Kitab, by Jew or a Christian. Now it raised a big question that, okay, if the Jews does not mention name of Allah, if the Christian does not, still we have to eat. Our fuqaha are divided. You know, they say, some of them said yes, because Allah said it. Allah didn't put any condition. They say, ta'amul lazina utul kitab hillul lakum. So he did not put any condition. So some of the ulama of the past, you find all these views in tafsir of Al-Qurtubi. Very good tafsir. The views of scholars and mazahib or imams are mentioned in detail. So some of the imams said, ulama, that even if the Jews, of course, they don't mention any name. They mention name of God. But Christians, they may slaughter in the name of Saint Girgis, Saint this, Saint that. So those ulama said that even though they mention any other name beside Allah, you are allowed to eat.
Because they are Christian.
Because Quran is very general, huh?
Halal.
Halal, kullu halal.
Halal.
But here, of course, the Muslims are very strict.
Until?
I mean, they say no, he must say Bismillah.
No, I mean halal for the Ahlul Kitab until now?
Yeah, I mean,
Now.
now, yeah, see, this is another question you raised. Now they say that the Ahlul Kitab, whom Quran mentioned here for their food being halal, they were different from Ahlul Kitab of today. It is not true.
Not true.
Not true. Because they were also mushrik. Allah says, Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Ittakhadhu ahbarahum wa ruhbanahum arbaba min dunillah wal masih ibn Maryam. That they take arbab and rahban and Masih ibn Maryam as God. So they become mushrik. Allah speaks and no, He knows everything. So Allah speaks and tells us that they are mushrik. Still we say, وَتَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ لَكُمْ. Okay, so there is an exception, istisna.
For the Christian.
Christian and Jews both. Jews, there is no problem, by the way. You know, Jews, they slaughter in a very particular way. They call it kosher. Kosher is no problem. But it is problem with Christians. They don't mention any name. They don't bother about religion. And for this reason, Jews have their own special slaughterhouse abattoir. The Jews have their own special slaughterhouse. So, okay. But Christians, they don't bother. You give them pork, they will eat. You give them lamb, they will eat. You give them anything, they will eat.
In UK, they have their own abattoir for the kosher.
Kosher, they have a special Jews. See, this is the thing. Muslims benefit from Jews. There are two issues. If there were no Jews, Muslims would have been suffering. First, the halal meat, slaughtering, because the Jews do, so the government cannot say to Muslims that you cannot do. If the Jew can do, then Muslim also can get concession. Number two is circumcision of children, khitan. You know, there are much debate here by the health of circumcision. Some say it is dangerous, it is not good for health. Doctors, they debate, you know, in the big newspapers like Time and others. The other group say, doctors also, that no, it is very good. It is healthy for the children and for the mind. But in any case, it is a must for Jews. After 8 days of the birth of the child, male child, he must be circumcised. There is no limit in Islam. You do it the same day he was born, or do 7 days, 14 days, or even after 7 years. There is no problem. But for Jews, 8 days. On the 8 days of the birth, the child must be circumcised. So now anybody speak anything, because Jews have power. Yeah, this is a good. This is what Muslims are really. One cries, one laments where Muslims are. Here there are only 350,000 Jews in this country, UK. 350,000. 3500. 30, huh? 300, yes, 35500. So 350,000 only. Muslims, if you ask a Muslim, he say we are 4 million. They always try to exaggerate. I don't know why, but officially they are around 2.2 million. Muslims, their number is around 2 million. So even they are 4 times more than Jews, but no weight, no power. Jews, there are many members of parliament. Muslims entered very late. Now there are some Muslim MPs, member of parliament, even ladies, mashallah, they came up. So there are some, but just 10 years ago, there are not a single Muslim in the parliament. And Jews, now the opposition leader is a Jew. What does it mean? It means that if tomorrow is election and next year will be election, and his party, Labour Party, wins, he will be Prime Minister. He will be Prime Minister. So easy. So though they are very little in number, but their power or their organization is very strong. The government listens to them. They are the government, as a matter of fact. And even in America, you know, everything is run by Jewish conspiracy, by Jewish people. Muslims are only talking about number. We are 4 million. We are in America. They say we are more than Jews. 6 million. Jews are only 5 million. Yeah, it is not a number. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala himself said, "Kam min fi'atin qalilatin ghalabat fi'atan kathiratan bi'iznillah." Now,
I mean, right now, if I go in London, then I buy from butcher juice,
Jew,
the meat.
Jews, Jews butcher or which butcher?
Just butchers.
Uh huh.
I buy the meat there. Can I eat the meat?
Yes, yes, Masha. This is why I said there is no problem for kosher. This is kosher. You know, it is kosher. There is no problem. But for Christians, slaughtered meat, of course, it is your own conscience. Whether you like it and you don't. It was good that Muslims here insisted that no, we want our own halal meat. They say we want our own halal meat, Muslims. And then because of this disorganization, there is no unity. Many people open their own house of certifying halal meat and ask money. You give £5, so I will give you certificate that the lamb you have slaughtered is okay. So everybody wanted to make money.
It can be trust like that.
Wallah, no. You ask me, I don't trust them, any of them. I mean, it was found that the shop says halal, but it is not halal. And chicken mainly, you know what they do? They stun. This is another question. That before slaughtering, this is European law, not only UK, the whole Europe, that before slaughtering, you must stun, give them injection or something to make them almost lose sense. They are stupid people. How can you know that the animal suffers this way or that way? There is no way to find out which one gives more pain to the animal. Maybe this injection gives more pain to it. But anyhow, this is how they say.
And the study have proved it.
Yeah, how can they prove? The animal cannot speak. And this is their own decision. So what they do sometimes, that they do it again for chickens. Fine? They have some kind of water or hot water. They pass the chicken. They are, because it is all mechanic. Chicken passes and then puts its beak in it and then goes and then its neck is cut. Many chicken die before the neck is cut. So that is haram. But it is very difficult. Still it is sold in the name of halal. You may find some Arabs or many other people claiming that buy chicken from me, I slaughter it Islamically. I know an Englishman thought that it was a good business, so he opened a farm and brought a Muslim with big beard. He was jahil, no nothing. And then he sees you that you are a foreigner, say, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. So that was okay, I mean it is halal, no problem. But then the government closed it, saying no, you are hurting the animal. This is their point, hurting the animal. So it was not. So really I am very suspicious, but what can I do? I eat. I believe in the shop owner when he says it is halal. I say halal, halal ya akhi, halal, 100% halal. But I am not sure whether it is halal or not. Again, Jews, they do not allow stunning. Stunning is not allowed with them. So that is another reason for Muslims to grab. Say that if Jews can do, we can do. Yeah. But as I said, there is no, here in London or Birmingham, there is no Muslim slaughterhouse. In the north, Bolton, Bartley, there may be. The Muslims are powerful. I mean, they have good businesses, so they can do it. But in London, they are caring only about money. Let the money come by any source, halal, haram, doesn't matter. Now,
How about you? Do you eat?
This is what I said, Yaki. I eat. My wife buys meat from the shop which say that halal meat. So she goes, and then I sometimes feel that
I mean from kosher, from
kosher is very cheap, very expensive. Remember, if this meat is about 1 pound, the kosher will be 1.5 pounds. It is expensive. So that is why the people.
Then why I was when there, I mean, do you eat the meat from the juice butcher? You.
No, I said that it is not cheap, so we don't buy. And then there is only Jews shop are here only in London.
No, I mean, if somebody buy from the juice shop, the meat, do you eat the meat?
Yes. I have no problem. The slaughtering of Jews is all right. There is no problem. Is only with Christians. Yeah, how say in Cairo we were, so we go to buy the chicken. So the man takes a chicken and then there is a boy who is trying to steal something. He abuses him. Yakhrib baytak, and then no Bismillah, nothing. Yakhrib baytak, and then salat. What is that? But in anyhow, remember, Imam Shafi'i said that if a Muslim slaughters and does not say Bismillah, it is all right. It's okay, no problem. Provided the man who does it is a Muslim and does it in proper way. What is the proper way? That the jugular vein should be cut. And this. This should be cut, blood should come out. Long ago, South African Muslims asked a fatwa from Sheikh Muhammad Abdu. You must have heard his name, Muhammad Abdu, about stunning. That if we stun the animal, whether it is halal and haram, and they slaughter after that. He said it is halal. They became very angry and they said that this Mufti doesn't know anything. So this is how Muslims became very sensitive. So if you ask some Pakistani people, some Muslim of here, they say no, 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 every drop of blood has to come out, and when you stun the animal, the blood gets frozen inside. But who said that every drop of blood has to come out? No. There are many examples. Say if an animal fell in the well, in beer, an animal fell in a well and there is no way to bring it out and you think that it will die. So you can shoot him, send an arrow, and any part of the body cuts, it becomes halal. Isn't it? So okay, it is not necessary to cut the throat. You can cut any part and blood should come out. That is the most important condition. So Imam Shafi is the most flexible in this matter. It is very, very flexible in this matter. That you can, of course, even a person abundance of Bismillah is all right, and if anything, any animal is there and then it was shot in leg, in body, blood came out, it is halal. Abu Hanifa will say no, 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 and majority of people, by the way, in this country, they came from subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and so they are Hanafi. So they are very strict. So okay, open your own slaughterhouse. And until now, here in this country, tadhiya, offering this sacrifice is okay. But you cannot kill the animal in your house. We do it in India, you know, the people come and then slaughter in the house and then hang it and then skin it and then take the meat. You cannot. Even a chicken you cannot kill in the house. It must be killed in the whatever, in slaughterhouse. Yeah, in a chicken you cannot kill it in the house. So that is how it is, the rule here. So when the time of Eid comes, Eid al-Kabir, many Muslim earlier, they used to say, I send my sacrifice to Pakistan. I said, Yahi, you are earning money here. So you should sacrifice here and let your children know what is this. You send there and then because you want to save money, there the animal is cheaper than here. So I campaigned within my own circle and they started doing it. So what happens? That you go to this butcher shop and give your name, fine, and he will go on your behalf and slaughter the animal and give you meat later on, and the meat he gives is fully cut and made, worth of cooking. They don't surrender the whole lamb to you, no, they cut it properly and then give it to you. So that for that reason you hardly get your sacrifice on the day of Eid. It will be the following day, maybe even after that, because they have hundreds of people in line. So they serve according. Now again here is a problem. I don't know whether my name was mentioned or the one slaughtered it in his name because I was not there. But there is, look here, this country is better than Germany and France. In Germany they say no. Then Jews came in and they allowed. In France also they wanted to stop, but the Jews came to help our Muslims. But here there are some farm owners. You know, you may have, it is not easy, Yaki, but you should really see the farm. Myself have not seen. The first officers, the one who came in 1989, they were taken to the farm, and an Englishman slaughtered a lamb for them, asked them to slaughter and then make barbecue, and they were very happy. But it was a rainy day when they came, all their trousers until here they were soaked in mud. So here even today, not in London, London area is very bad. near Birmingham and around the Birmingham, the people have made agreement with the owners of farms. They go on the day of Eid, the owner will tell them that, okay, choose the animal you want. They choose the animal, it is illegal, but they allow Muslims, just help them. Choose the animal, they say, okay, you want to slaughter, slaughter it. The Muslim slaughters, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, inni wajjahtu wajhiya lillazi fatara samawati wal ard, and then the man takes the skin out and then gives the whole lamb to them, saying that go and get it cut with any butcher. Here they don't give you skin, they don't give you the inside what you call yeah, not liver. I mean, no, azma and meat is there. I mean, inside what is there, they don't give it. And very recently, the head also they did not give, because there was an illness called illness of mouth and leg. Yeah. They destroyed almost 3 million animals. Fine? Just like that. Doctors said that it is not going to affect a human being, but they say no, our reputation is at risk. Remember, before that was cow disease, mad cow disease. Again they slaughtered millions of cows, and they are very very much concerned about their reputation. My name should not be damaged. So anyhow, so here the farm owner, he can help. So some people even go from London to Birmingham side and then slaughter their animal and then bring the meat to any butcher, and then he cut it and then they cook it. So this is how it is. In France and Germany, you cannot think of it. They don't allow at all.
How much the butcher charge for the service?
You agree with him because you are not going to slaughter. Here, I mean, I don't know how much, but what usually people do, give him money or name, and then he does slaughter and then cut it. So when a normal lamb will be, say for example 60 pound, the sacrifice lamb will be 100 pound. They exploit, istighlal. They just want to take benefit and say that, well, I have to bring the workers even in the night and this and that. All this is nonsense. But in any house, it goes in any way. This is go like that. So what is halal? Halal, not tayyib. Halal is that you cut the jugular vein of the animal, and then when it becomes silent, cold, then of course you can take skin out and then eat it. But again, it is not necessary that it is tayyib. Maybe the animal you slaughtered was not healthy, it was sick, it was ill, it carried some disease, so that is not tayyib. You slaughtered malish, you made it halal, but it is not tayyib. So, hygiene is very, very important. And then what happens in our country, India I speak, that they give some money to the inspector, he will say yes, it is okay, certified. So that is very bad. So that should not happen. You Jakim people, you must control it, because hygiene is, the best thing which Allah gave. Ni'matani maghbunun fihima kathiru minan nas. That Allah has given two ni'mah, two favor, which the people don't realize. As-sihhatu wal faragh. Well, faragh. Faragh means, that you are free, you don't need to work, money comes from here and there, everywhere. So you don't have worries. Here everybody is running from the morning till evening in earning money. And no one is satisfied. No one is satisfied, and this is also Prophet ﷺ predicted. لو كان لابن آدم واديان من مال لابتغى ثالثا. That if son of Adam is given two valley full of money, he will be looking for a third one. You know, he has two full valley, gold, silver, everything, but he is not satisfied, he is greedy, andu tama, andu jasha. So he wants a third one, and if the third one comes, he will look for the fourth one. And Ibn Adam's greed will never be fulfilled unless he dies. وَلَا يَمْلَوْ Ibn Adam illa turab. And it is very true in this country. Watch people and see there. Recently there is a list, just now, 2 days ago. Try to read the newspaper, not to buy every day, but buy one and then read the whole thing in 2-3 days and then buy next stop. They say that in UK there are more than 100 billionaires. More than 100 people who have got more than £1 billion in their account, and there are many Muslims as well. There are many Muslims. Muslims are not behind in money, they are behind in thinking, in action, in doing things for themselves or for the benefit of the community. So there is no problem as far as money earning is concerned. The Muslims are mashallah ahead. There is one big business owner, Anwar Parvez. He has been given the title of Sir Anwar, he became. Yeah. And he has a big store, this cash and carry, a kind of that one which supplies in bulk, or the many others are there. Wholesale, yes. So there are people, they are not behind others, but there is nothing beyond that, only money. Many families are destroyed because the father does not know what the child is doing. He is concerned only with earning money. So the family is shattered. They are not there at all. So it is there, but they don't care, and this kind of people, they don't care about halal and haram. They do not care about halal and haram. Anything comes, let it come. And many shops you find owned by Muslims, says off license. They send wine. Many restaurants owned by Muslims, they also serve wine. They supply, they give you. So this is how Muslims have lost their faith. They have lost their religion. It's very unfortunate. So what Islam is telling us, to eat halal and the tayyib both.
And then they sold Toto, jackpot.
Who?
The Muslim owner, shop. Muslim owner, shop owner, they sell Toto, lottery.
Yeah, alcohol, but they don't sell pork. Huh?
Lottery jackpot.
Oh, yes, look, lottery. The first person to win the lottery, which was about 8 or 9 million pound, was a Muslim. He was a factory worker. And then a lot of rumor, spread about him, that it was 10 years back.
How about him today?
I don't know, because this is very good question, what happened to him. Because when the money comes without any effort, it goes also without any effort. You lose it. Very quickly, it goes out. Many Muslim, they buy tickets of lottery. I tell you one example. When I went for a Friday Jummah, there is a mosque here called Guji Street. I don't know where you have gone. Rabita Al Islami, the Meccan organization, it is their office there. Rabitatul Alim Islami, World Muslim League. So they have a mosque where they do prayer. It is not proper mosque, but Jummah prayer is done there, and it is full because it is in central London, and all the people working in offices, they come. So I was there. So a man came, with big, very clear cap and something, and very humble, khushu' and this. Allahu Akbar. When he went to sajda, some papers fell from his pocket, there were lottery tickets. What can you Malaysia. This is how Muslims are. And this lottery money, a proportion of it goes to the charity work. They give to the charity. So Prince Charles, once he spoke and said that why this money cannot be used for religious purposes. He didn't say Islam, he said religious purposes also the money can be used. So the Muslims started making all kind of row and shouting that the prince is teaching us to take the lottery money. He didn't ask you to take lottery money. He is just saying that the money should be spent not only in need of people, but religion also deserves it. Fine. So they started making fuss about him and abusing him and accusing him, and it was also turned out later that some people submitted their application for their mosque or for their center. So this duplicity, nifaq, hypocrisy is rampant in Muslims. That is very, very bad thing. Yes, lottery is there and you will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of course examines, tests people in their faith. So also he allows a Muslim to win the lottery to see what he does. As soon as he gets money, he leaves his family, runs away. He doesn't want his family even to share.
You become greedy.
Yeah. So anyhow, so all these things which are haram are haram. It doesn't depend on individuals. Truth. It was earlier that they say that a Jew cannot take interest from another Jew, but from other people, what they call them ummiyin or Gentiles as the Christian people say. Yeah, so they can take from them. But now all the people are the same, because the bank interest is not based on religious affiliation. The bank interest goes, but now it is your duty, you people, you prepare among themselves as scholars who can decide whether this bank interest is the real riba which Quran condemned, or it is something completely different. Because see, if you ask a Muslim not to do business through the bank, he is going to lose it. So you have to find a way. There are many Islamic banks here. Islamic banking, the government, the British government promotes them. 20 years, this man Cameron, he spoke that let us encourage Islamic banking. It brings big amount of money, trillions and trillions, because many people do not understand and it is very, very difficult. Now there is question, if you keep your money in the bank, it loses its value, doesn't it? 1,000 today will be less than 1,000 next year. Its value reduces. Who is going to compensate that value, that reduction? Big question, but we unfortunately what we have Muslims, that there are people who know economics, who know banking, but they do not know Sharia. And there are Muslims who know Sharia, but they do not know banking. So we never get a kind of bridge between the two. There are big experts in economics and in banking, but they do not know Sharia. And our ulama, Muftis, they do not know banking. So we need a group. You can do something here, that you have 10 people from the young age and first teach them Sharia, the Qism al-Mu'amalat, the section of transaction, and then after that you send them to America, to Europe or anywhere to study the banking. If they spend 10 years, maybe they find a solution to solve this, Because what happens in Islamic banking? You know, here the biggest problem is mortgage. If you want to buy a house, you take loan. So the agency which gives you loan charges interest. For 25 years the loan is, for 25 years. So they charge interest on that money which they gave you, and after 25 years your house becomes free. Now you have paid off all that, and so Islamic banks also they do the same, but they change the name. Yeah, maneuvering, huh? Whether you catch my ear from this side or you bring it, this is the same. We cannot cheat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what they do,
Sometimes more trivial.
I mean what they do, you know, that they say that this house is not yours, it is bank's. It is owned by the bank, and you are paying, what you are paying is rent, right? And then you continue paying rent until the whole amount is recovered, then the house will become yours. Then what happens, people noted that if the high street banks, they charge for a loan £500, Islamic bank is charging 550. So why more? Yaki riba free bank should take less, but they are taking more.
Yes, I mean.
They say service charges, they say. Okay, then those banks, what is wrong with them? And you know, it is a big problem in this country mainly. In UK, the mortgage system, taking loan. If you want to start a business, you have to take loan. When you take loan, you have to pay interest. And every riba is haram, they say. But what is riba? That is a big problem. So anyhow, any money earned by riba is not tayyib, it is not halal, it is haram. And also you must realize that most of these people who speak very loudly against riba, they are poor people. You know, they don't have much money. So it seems that there is sort of, you know, hostility and hatred against the rich people, that their money is haram. Yaki, then if every Muslim just remains like that, then Muslim country's economy will go down. So you have to find some solution. It's strange that there is no Islamic bank in Saudi Arabia. No, they don't allow. But here in UK it is very, very prospering, very big. I don't know about Malaysia. You have Islamic bank? But see, I mean, how it becomes Islamic?
Islamic bank is growing.
What makes it Islamic? You have to find out.
Maybe just in me.
Yeah, I really think so. Because my son went to borrow money and he borrowed from Islamic bank. Then he wanted to sell his house and buy another house. So he wanted the money which was with the bank, and it took him 1 year to clear. With these banks you just get it in 1 week. So they don't make things easy, they are making it difficult. But Islam, as you said, Islam name is Islam is there, and the people can be fooled.
Are there any Islamic banking in UK?
Sorry?
Are there any Islamic banking in UK?
Yeah. I said many Islamic banks are there, many services in the name of Islam.
But no in Al-Azhari.
Wallahi, I don't know, I'm not a mufti in this matter. I don't know money matter at all. I am very, very naive in understanding money matter, how money works. Only some people who are expert, they know how money works and they are doing their job. But myself, I don't know.
Same like me. I hope the name Islam is
I said 20 years ago to a Kuwaiti man, he said that media is controlled by Jew, banking is controlled by Jew. I said they were not born with this. Isn't it true? They are not born with banks in their hand or with media in their hand, but they worked hard and they controlled. You people, you have money, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, mashallah, 1/3 of the wealth of the world is in Khalij. So much money. What they are doing now? They are competing with one another on making the high-rise building. Right? So, say Burj Khalifa, now there is someone in Jeddah, a Saudi.
The new one is a city like Aladdin story, hanging term, hanging balloon.
No, what is the use of it?
Nearby the Burj Khalifa.
What is the use of it? And then the poor people do not benefit from it. And if you go and see the laborers in those Gulf countries, you find their situation is very poor. They are not given their rights. And if you ask them, say, no, they are getting their right, full right, and this and that. But at the moment, the trend is to make the highest building, to say that my building is higher than yours. This is what they are doing. So, I told him at that time that, look, if you train people, take 10 of young people, send them to Europe, first teach them Sharia, then send them to Europe, and then let them understand the business of media and business of banking, and then come out, and why 10 only? Every, say for 10 years you just take 10, so it will be 100 people. And if only 5 of them can succeed, you got it. But they don't want, they want just Allah to come and then solve their problem. هل ينظرون إلا أن يأتيهم الله في ظلل من الغمام. Allah should come and solve our problems, which is not going to happen. So, anyhow, you must visit slaughterhouse. I think it is in your program, and see halal slaughterhouse. And it will not be here. The nearest place is Birmingham. There is a slaughterhouse, Islamic.
And is it possible we go to kosher slaughterhouse?
I don't know, because I don't know whether they allow people to visit. I don't think there should be any problem, but the shop is there in here in North London, North East London, in Willesden or Golders Green, where if you go, you see the traditional Jews with their cape and then beard being combed and all that, typical shape. They are there. They have colleges. And their college gives a degree, what is called, it has got a charter. So, ask Shah whether it is possible to go and visit their kosher business. But as far as buying is concerned, you can go to their shop and then buy it. I don't think there is any problem. But now the question with you is that the meat which is sold here in Christian shop, whether I can buy it and eat it or not. No, that's a good. Because if you surrender, then there will be no chance. So it is better to demand, because in this country, if you shout, you make demand, you will be given. If you keep quiet, they will ignore you. So it is all right. But what I would like Muslims to do, that they should unite themselves, bring sort of unity, and then 2, 3, 5 people, they come together and then establish an abattoir, a slaughterhouse, with guarantee that anything which is slaughtered there is halal. It is very, very important. Only label will not do. a simple Muslim is cheated with the label halal. While when the inspector comes, he said, no, no, not only it is halal, but it is really more than haram. So this is what is required here. And it was long ago that some delegation came from Malaysia. They wanted to go to Belgium, Brussels, to make agreement for halal meat. What you can do, of course,
I believe which one condition of soldier is Muslim only, but politics brief. This means Sharia. I believe in my UK or
Europe.
UK or the world have not ahli kitab. I believe which one condition of soldier is Muslim only. Soldier.
No, no, see Muslim, okay, fine.
So, of speak now, ahli kitab, Jews, soldier in Jews can be it. Though I not agree, I will not confused in my question.
See, don't be confused. There are two ways. Now there are halal meat available. You go and ask the shop owner, he will swear by Allah, wallahi, tallahi, it is halal. So you believe him and buy from him, fine? Or otherwise, you can divide, buy kosher juice, which is really much better, and eat, and halal and kosher are the same. Or if you are very liberal, you can go to the Christian, also they are Ahlul Kitab, because Quran did not put any condition. وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. It doesn't say that which way they should slaughter. You know, some Muslim ulama say that they must say Bismillah. Yaki, if they say Bismillah, they become Muslim.
Prof, I think he means about what is the true meaning the Ahlul Kitab. There is a
So look,
Ahlul Kitab today.
yes, I mean this is again, it's a very, very unrealistic question. As I said earlier, the Ahlul Kitab which were found in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, I feel that they are the same today. They also believe that Jesus is Son of God. They also believe in Trinity. They also distorted their books, Jews. They are doing the same today. So there is no difference.
Jews or Christian?
No, Jews distorted, you know, they changed their book. And Christians, even today, they believe that Isa is Son of Allah, as it was in the beginning. And remember that Allah knows everything. If He wanted to forbid it, He said that, okay, today's Ahlul Kitab, you eat from them, but after 200 years you don't eat from them. But nothing is there.
Hygiene and Islam, what really Sharia and Aqidah?
Aqidah is not important because their Aqidah is completely different from us. It's still Quran allows. You can marry a Christian girl, Yaki.
Yes.
The white, why not? Because والمحصنات من المؤمنات والمحصنات من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم full stop, no. إذا آتيتموهن أجورهن. That is all right. And Sahaba, they did marry Christian girls.
Before.
Yeah, I mean in the time of the Prophet, after the time of the Prophet, because the time of the Prophet, of course, the Muslims did not go out of Jazeera al-Arabiya. Yeah, but
Now,
yeah, you can marry, why not? What is wrong?
Jews, okay. But
Look, I will read the book of fiqh. I said that Imam Shafi is very relaxed. He said, well, if a Muslim marries a Christian girl, he should not force her to become Muslim, like Rafiddin.
Al-Mar'ah.
Yeah, only man can marry the woman, but Muslim woman cannot marry a Christian boy. It is only one way traffic.
One way.
Yeah.
Ilang tak dilupa wahid.
So I mean, see, this is what Quran says. Now, of course, it is up to you. And as he said, that it is very good that Muslim demand for Islamic abattoir, Islamic slaughterhouse. They should have their own slaughterhouse and then slaughter animal in a halal way. If this country gives you permission, why don't you take it? Why don't you take it? You know, one should be more realistic. So I agree with Muslims here that we boycott Ahlul Kitab's meat and we buy only from Muslims, but you guarantee that the meat you are buying from Muslim shop is halal.
Guarantee.
Guarantee, and that guarantee is not available.
At the highest Arlington, the shop is name of MashaAllah.
The shop is Medina shop, Makkah shop, all these shop. But whether what they are selling is really halal, this is a big question. I remember a man from Pakistan, you know, he lived here about 20 years. Fine, 20 years he lived. And then in his time when he came, there was no concept of halal, no shops for halal meat. So he never ate any meat, no chicken, no lamb, nothing. He always used vegetable. A Pakistani, very good man, very religious, very righteous. So when they brought, you know, this halal system, he came to me. He respected me very much and said that, Dr. Sahab, I have not eaten meat for 20 years. Now they tell me that there is halal meat. Should I go and eat? I say, Haji Sahab, since you have not eaten for 20 years, I feel that you just continue without eating meat. He was so happy, so happy. So this is how it is. Either we boycott, fine, or import from somewhere. What I was talking to Dr. Siraj and saying that you open a slaughterhouse here. Yeah, I mean it is allowed. This government see doesn't bother about anything. You bring money, ahlan wa sahlan, do anything. You know, they sold Harrods to Qatar. This big store Harrods, very big one. It was first for Muhammad Fayed. Now it is owned by Qatar government. They don't care. You want to buy this college, ahlan wa sahlan, buy it. Bring money. They need only money, nothing more. So they wouldn't, you can put their, I would like an abattoir, a slaughterhouse in London, they will give you. They want money. Because you know, transfer of animal, live animal to any country is not very good. It is very painful for the animal. So it is better to slaughter them and then transport the meat. So you can do it. There is no problem. So there will be no problem of Christian or Jews to slaughter. You keep a very sensible person and then do it. You know, these people are always in hurry. So they do slaughter by machine. So, if a machine can slaughter 10 animal at one time, by your own system of Islamic, there may be only 3 or 4.
Yes.
Yeah? So, they want just to take time, to consume time and then produce as much as they can. And British beef is very popular in Europe. So, in sacrifice also you can share a cow by 7 people and then they will do it for you. And it is all mechanized. But the best thing really will be that if Muslims have got sense, they force the government here and there is nothing forcing. Give them money, they will give you provision. So, they will do it. You say that this is for Malaysia, for example. This abattoir slaughterhouse is not to sell meat here in this country, but this is for Malaysia. Ahlan wa sahlan, do it. No, really, there is always solution to any problem. And in this country, the problems can be solved easily. Look, there is every year in Ramadan, 100,000 people go for Umrah. No Hajj tabun or anything. It is free. For Hajj, they go 25,000. And there was nothing, nothing of any restriction of Qura and then this and that, no. Anyone who wants to go, he can buy ticket and go, and then there was no Hajj committee here. Then Muslims said that we must send some people to help us there in Jeddah and then in Makkah. They did it. Now they are trying to think in the same way as Hajj Tabun here, so that they can allow poor man to go for Hajj. Any practical suggestion you can bring and they will agree, but the thing is that you must be able to run it. Not that you took money and then run away. It has happened with an old man, he came on TV, he paid £5,000 for Hajj to an agent. The agent took the money and his money and other people's money and ran away. So, this is one fear always with Muslims. They have lost their faith, they have lost their iman. But here the government is really willing, if you put any proposal rightly and with a sensible way, they will accept it. There was no Muslim school at all in the beginning. Until 1997, there was no Muslim school. And the Jews had 25 schools. And Christian both denominations, private school, they had their own schools. But not a single Muslim school. And this man, singer Yusuf Islam, he fought and fought and fought and the government did not give him school. Then they started. First 2 schools were given and then now there are a number of schools run by government. What Muslim school means? That you have a school which teaches the national curriculum, plus you teach Islam. They have no problem. They have no problem. And then you accept non-Muslim children, maybe they become Muslim when they come to your school. This is how the facilities are available. So, some people will say, no, don't take any help from Christians. Yeah, they are not Christian, by the way, they don't believe in Christianity. They are out of religion, they are atheist.
Young people.
Yeah, not only young, old one I said. See Mrs. Thatcher, when she died, she told the people to just burn her, cremate her. Christians don't allow it. But then her body was cremated. So, this is how they are, they don't care. Of course, and the Queen is the head of the church. Okay, fine, they have to maintain something. But as I can see, there is no problem. You can open a restaurant and say that I don't allow alcohol. It will work. You tell the people that no, look here, alcohol is not served. What some restaurants say that we are not serving alcohol, but if you bring from outside you can drink it inside. No, you can say no. Consumption of alcohol is not allowed in my restaurant. If your food is good, the people will come. Yeah, the business is not bent on using haram. It does not depend. If you have full faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. So that is how we don't read Quran, we don't understand the Quran. Muslims very easily. Many Muslims in this country, they don't know how many prayers are there in the daytime. Wallahi. What can you do? So there is no problem. So the best thing, I mean, not to be very fussy about halal and haram. I mean, if your conscience, your dhamir allows, take kosher and eat it. Okay? But Christians, of course, I wouldn't say this to you. But kosher, I am more confident in it. There was a meeting, you know, in Germany. I went, and officers went with me, the first group. So the man who arranged it, he said that when we decided to bring the Muslims and Jews and Christians together, the biggest problem was food. He said that Jews, they eat only kosher. They don't eat halal. They eat only kosher, and Muslims eat kosher and halal. But Christians can eat anything. The man say. So we decided that we are not going to offer any meat, it will be only vegetable throughout 8 days. So this is how it is. So anyhow, but now since there are halal shops, you just judge the man by his look, by his talk. If the man doesn't do prayer, he is not good Muslim, how can you believe him? But he says, my shop is very Islamic and I sell only Islamic halal meat. How can you trust him? The best thing will be that there are certain farms, you go and then get your animal slaughter there, your chickens and everything, and then bring them home. But it requires effort. But there is this provision as well. There are some very good Arabs, they go to a place called Farnborough, about 100 miles from London. They slaughter their chickens mainly and then bring and then eat. They used to supply, but they found that the supply is not easy, you know, to bring big quantity and supply, so they stopped. But it is possible, what I am trying to say, that it is possible here. You are not always cramped. What happened that in the prison, you know, the Muslim prisoners, they are asking for halal meat. The government did it. But what happened once, that the label said halal, but inside the packet it was not halal, and it was discovered. So the prisoners made a big shout, big row. So the government and the jailer, they apologized. He said this was a mistake by the supplier. But why do you take supply from a man who is going to cheat you? So it happens, they can cheat you. You go to Tesco, there is a section called halal. The big store, super store, Tesco. Or by the way, just 2 days ago there was a program on TV about halal. You know, because I don't know why these people are concerned. Stupid they are. They are trying to just harm Muslims and antagonize them. Because Muslims are very emotional. You just raise something and then they say Zindabad, Murdabad and this and that on the street. No, tackle the matter with some sense. There was no need for bringing this program.
Wasting time for that.
Yeah, and then Prime Minister said that it is left to the religious people they can decide the way in which they would like their animals to be slaughtered. Before that, the media is here against Muslims. They are very biased.
Bias.
Very biased. Why you should be concerned? If the community wants halal and then supplier gives a halal, leave them. You are not going to dig the ground and then always raise the same question whether an animal which is slaughtered like that is suffers more, or whether it is when it is stunned then he suffers less. Why should you be like that? But you people as muftis, you should find something easier. Some people suggested that, well, the first animal when it comes, because it comes in line, mechanical. Say Bismillah, Allah Akbar, and then leave the rest just to be slaughtered like that. So in the beginning you say Bismillah, and then it will work for other animal as well. I don't know, but of course to have the way to slaughter the way we do is not very practical in this country and in Europe, where machine has taken the place of mind. Exactly. Al-fatwa tataghayyar bi taghayyur al-ahwal. Yeah. Fatwa changes. So, no, but you should be more practical. Don't offend the common people. If you come with very drastic change, of course the people would not like it. So it could be done by Dr. Siraj, just to find a way, and this country here you can be safe, that what your abattoir, your slaughterhouse can do only halal business, and you are not selling here, but you are really exporting to your country. You can make agreement with someone, or you can do even in Australia. Australia has big animal farm. Some of them are owned by Lebanese Arabs, but they are not Muslims. They are Christians or they are not Christians even. So you make your own slaughterhouse there or here or anywhere in the world, slaughter the animal according to Islam, and then take it to the country. It will be much easier. If you go to Gulf country, they will tell you which lamb you want: Iraqi, Somali, Egyptian, Indian, Yemeni, Pakistani. So anyhow, just make things easy for the people. Yassiru wala tu'assiru. But we don't want you to compromise your religion. No. Don't put your religion at risk. No. Those belief Aqidah who spoke about Aqidah, Aqidah must be there. Aqidah is not to be compromised. We are not going to accept with them that, okay, I accept Isa as son of Allah. No. I attended many interfaith meetings. I said, look, we are not going to discuss this because this is not our field. But Muslims believe that Allah is only one, has got no son, no wife, and He is the one who controls, and He is the one who is going to judge people on the day of judgment. Finish. Khalas. We are not going to have this kind of controversy whether Jesus is 1 in 3, 3 in 1. We don't understand 3 in 1. So they agree. We said that there are many issues of concern between Muslims and Christians. See how many people dying, the children dying. But again you find that mostly they are Christian charities which help them. Where are Muslims? In Sudan, in Somalia, in Afghanistan, anything happen to them, you find that Christian aid and British aid, they are there with their cross things. That is very bad.
Muslim money in the bank only.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any, remember, we are not compromising Aqidah. Fine. But of course,
I understand you aspect in hygiene in Islam, halalan, halalan in
طيبا.
Sharia, Sharia in combined in Aqidah, then in طيبا Sharia. So because discuss for
Hygiene, yes. Yes, yes. Halal is halal. Tayyib is hygiene. Hygiene. Okay, mashallah. No, but you should make more research. Try to.
I understand in Mazhab Shafi'i, the question in Guriyah.
Yeah. Al-dururat tubihul mahzurat. But see, that situation here in Europe is different from situation in Malaysia or Saudi Arabia and other countries where there are Muslims. But anyhow, Muslims here hold fast. They hold their religion. But one thing is not very good, I agree that always they are concerned with building mosque. Mosque. Yaki, mosque is not only thing. You give for halal food to the children. Because now in the schools where there are Muslim children, they provide with halal school, halal food. They do it. So anyhow, but what I am trying to tell you that anything could be done provided there is will. Wallahu min wara'il qasdi. When there is a will, there is a way. Okay, shukran ya habibi.
شكرا يا معلم شكرا يا معلم أنت كثير أكثر